the self that the Buddha, even 2,600 years ago, recognized as an illusion, an enormous insight, the greatest, perhaps the greatest insight of all humanity, when he recognized the self is an illusion. And by that he means the self that is identified with any form, thought form, physical form, anything. And that is the illusion, to lose oneself in some form. And then the preciousness of being, that is the essence that is timeless and formless in every human and in every life form, one could say, incarnates in form. And there's nothing wrong with incarnating in form as long as you know yourself as that which is beyond form. But if you lose yourself in the incarnation, and ultimately you had to do that too, that was part of the totality of how things work. To lose oneself is, as the Buddha called it, suffering. Then you suffer because you don't know who you are anymore. You're looking for yourself in some form, in some thought form, in some physical form that you identify with, which is then also a thought form. Me. And so everybody is looking for the essence of their being, not knowing that the specialness that they look for is already the essence of who they are. But they can only find it when they stop looking for themselves in the future, through more. So the one place, it's all like some strange game. The one place where you truly can only find yourself in that one place most humans never look, which is the present moment. They look there for themselves. And to feel, I want to be more. On the level of form, you can temporarily be more. That's true. And then that dissolves again. But there is a level within yourself where more does not operate. You do not need to be more. You are already a full expression of the one life. You are already complete on the level of the timeless, the essence of your being. Now, the only reason why you needed time was you needed to be ready to hear this truth and recognize it as a truth. For that, one could say you need time to hear the message that to be who you are, you don't need time. But the paradox is, there are still many humans to whom this would be meaningless, and they don't come here. They need, in other words, they need more time. They need to continue to look for themselves, and they need to continue to be frustrated in their search. That is part of the larger design. The frustration is built into human existence. And so that's what the world is for, the so-called world. It is there to frustrate you and to drive you deeper, to eventually drive you out of identification with form. Because as long as you're identified with form, it is so frustrating. And you can never make it. You can never arrange the forms and accumulate all the forms that you need, you think you need to be yourself. Or sometimes you can do it for a very brief time span. You can suddenly find everything is now working in my life. My health is good, my relationship is great, great money, got possessions, everybody loves me. They all write good things about me. It's all working. My job, my living situation, my finances, my health, my relationships, they're all great. But before long, something there starts to crumble here or there. It's either the finances, or it's the relationship, or it's the living situation. So it's in the nature of the world of form that nothing stays fixed for very long. And so it starts to crumble again here. You just had sorted it all out. And so that's why humans, they experience life as a series of frustrations. So why can't it work? And so it doesn't work because they are looking for themselves there. They are demanding that the world of form should make them complete and happy. I demand that this world should complete who I am, should give me my sense of self. I just need this and that from there, and then that's all. This is what I demand. And then it's not happening. There's something wrong here. Life isn't working. It seems to be working for everybody else, but it's not working for me. I read in the magazines, all the glossy people, it seems to be working for them. But only if you look at the glossy pictures. If you visited them at home, you would see that it's not working for them either. So it's built into living here is frustration. It's meant to be frustrating. This is the whole, there is a purpose, but people haven't seen it. So it's quite a relief to recognize, first of all, the world cannot make me happy. To demand that situations, people, places, or attainments should complete me or make me happy are bound to be frustrated, whether I attain or do not attain. Okay, so that looks very negative, doesn't it? And that's why when you don't go deeper, when you only see the surface, you see, oh, all is vanity, as the Old Testament prophet said. Vanity of vanities, all is vanity. I've seen it all. I can't remember the exact words, but I'm giving you a free translation. I've seen it all, I've done it all, and it's all completely meaningless. That's what he said. And that was probably an elderly man who had tried it all. And now, why did they put this into the Bible? Isn't it very negative to have such a statement that life is completely vain, whatever you can achieve is vanity? They put that in there because when you see the truth of it, you're already becoming free of it. The seeing of the inability of the world to make you happy, the seeing of the short-lived nature of whatever forms you encounter in your life, what is it in you that is able to see that and say, ah, or even laugh? What before was a dreadful story and frustration, you suddenly step out of your own story and see that your own frustrating story is not your personal dilemma, but the human condition. And you derived your sense of self from that, which is nothing personal whatsoever. It's the human condition. And that it's the human condition in its unconscious state, its unenlightened state. And that's what gave you your sense of personal selfhood, and that you wanted to cling to. And now you step out of it by simply seeing it. The seeing means something is arising that is not part of that unconsciousness. And that is why they put it into the Bible, because when you see it, that which can witness that in you, the impermanent nature of all forms, the fictitious nature of the mind-made story, what is it in you that is able to look at that and see, ah, that is not thought, That is the ability to be aware and hold up the mirror of awareness and simply see it there. Oh, or let's say better, the light of awareness shines on it. The light of awareness shines on it and sees what before you were trapped in, the frustrating story of my life. And there's no life that's not ultimately frustrating. It only begins, it loses its frustration when you do not look to the world anymore for your satisfaction, or